Hello again, people of the community who are looking to buy the new hero HARITH. This furry little boy is on release from the pet shop and out to the original server today, November 6, 2018. And once again, I am here to help you decide if he's worth your hard-earned battle points in this hero review. He's gonna be so perfect for you if you're like a cat person and maybe if you like balls, but if you like dogs or if you're a dog person, there's always Roger. HARITH is a time-traveling mage with the specialty of charge and burst. So he deals magic damage and has dashing capabilities. Pretty simple, right? In this video, we'll talk about his final release form, his skills, and some tips that might help you when you first play him or if you decide to buy him. And again, please don't treat this like a full guide because no, this is not a hero guide for HARITH, as HARITH is a new hero and anything can change in the following week after his release. So HARITH here has an amazing passive. It says that he can have up to 70% resilience depending on how many enemies are around him or enemy heroes. This simply means that the more enemy heroes he's fighting, the less effective the stuns and slows are against him. It is because resilience means crowd control or stun duration reduction. Resilience reduce the amount of time you get stunned or be crowd controlled or slowed. So for example, in a 5v5 team fight, he gets stunned for 1.5 seconds. HARITH's passive, 70% resilience, will reduce that 1.5 second stun to 0.45 seconds. And a lot can happen to you if you're stunned for 1.5 seconds or even longer. You could die, you could get bursted. So why is this so awesome? One of the problems with mages is once they are stunned or CC'd, they can't do anything but die to the following up burst from the enemy's teammates. With HARITH, this passive, along with the shield you get from your other skill, the mobility, and maybe if you put Aegis there as well, it will keep you alive enough to escape death, just in case you were careless enough to get stunned or get caught. HARITH skill 1 is this magic damage explosion that can hit multiple enemies. It is a linear skill that deals magic damage via these blades that comes out from where you are and from the opposite side of the skill. Anyone in the center of the range when these two blades hit each other will be dealt massive bonus magic damage. This is HARITH's main skill for clearing minion waves and dealing area damage in teamfights. As long as you make sure that the enemies are right smack in the center of this skill, you should be able to burst them down and hurt them more than they can hurt you, especially early game. And the cooldown of this skill isn't so bad, you can spam it a lot as long as you have the mana to back it up. HARITH skill 2 is called Chrono Dash, and this is his dash or blink skill slash his shield slash enhanced magic basic attack slash his slow CC or slowing effect slash what the heck is this OP skill? Really? So they put a bunch of effects in one skill, and this is what makes him so mobile, and mobility as a mage is borderline insane. There are very few mages that are mobile, and I think HARITH can easily be top 1 with this skill. Every time you use this skill and dash near an enemy hero, you gain a shield for a few seconds, and then your next basic attack will also be enhanced. Now what does enhanced basic attack mean for our furry friend HARITH? It means that your next basic attack will deal bonus magic damage. It will also slow down the movement speed of the enemy you hit and reduce the cooldown of this same mother effing skill by 4 seconds. So you can use it again and freaking get the OP effects once again and then attack the enemy again to reset it again and then use it again and then again and again and again.
Pretty, isn't it? Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Now that is fine. You can't really spam this because it has a fixed 10-second cooldown at all levels. And you can get 40% maximum cooldown reduction through items, which will take this skill's cooldown down to 6 seconds. And if you hit an enemy, that's minus 4 seconds to the cooldown. So the lowest cooldown you can get is 2 seconds for this skill. But his ultimate, called Zaman Force, can reduce HARITH's dash further by 4 seconds. So let's talk about this ultimate. The ultimate is also packed with a lot of effects When you cast your skill 3 or your ultimate, a sword-like shape will be put on the ground and any enemy hero caught in it will be initially rooted or snared, so they won't be able to move for a while, just like Alice's disable skill around her. And then, it slows their movement speed down if they decide to stay in the area, or in the sword-shaped area. Additionally, casting this ultimate will immediately reset your skill 2 dash's cooldown, so you can use it immediately after you ult. And if you dash within your ultimate's range, or while you're stepping in the sword-shaped area, you will reduce the cooldown of your skill 1 by 1 second and your skill 2 by 4 seconds. So that is already a total of 8-second cooldown reduction for Harith skill 2 when you're using your ultimate, your skill 3. And if you got some sort of cooldown reduction items, your ultimate and skill 2 spammability should look like this.
First blood. Wiped out.
This makes you refresh all the good things that your skill 2 has. The shield, slowing effect on basic attacks, additional magic damage on basic attacks, and it lets you escape or chase the enemy very easily. Now, I have played a few games with him in the advanced server while waiting for his release, and I gotta say, he's a really fun hero to play. Aside from being a bit powerful because he has a little bit of everything, playing Harith requires you to be doing a lot of things during team fights or when you're farming. Unlike auto attack heroes like marksman, for example, you will have to rely on landing your skills properly, especially skill 1, making sure enemies are in the center so that you can do like maximum damage. And then you have to chain them with your skill 2 so that you can continuously do damage to the enemy in case you have to chase them and they're not dead yet. And also, dashing around team fight is so much fun to do. You have to time both your entry and getting out of team fights so that you can properly escape in case the enemies are focusing you while continuously still doing damage and contributing. And you also have to make sure that you take advantage of your cooldown resets from skill 2 and skill 3. You have to keep that in mind. You have to hit an enemy after using skill 2 to reduce its cooldown. You have to think of staying in the cross shape or the sword shape area of your ult to reset your skill 2 and skill 1 or reduce their cooldown. Everything about Harith just keeps you engaged and not bored while playing a match with him. Man, Harith's skills just work so well with each other. His passive provides you with survivability. Skill 1 lets you deal a lot of area damage. Your skill 2 is your mobility, escape, which is also your survivability because of the shield you get, and it also adds to your damage output via enhanced basic attack. And his ultimate is your disable skill, and it just makes all of his other skills so much spammable during its duration. And with all these synergy going around Harith's skills, I'm pretty sure someone or anyone who takes the time to master him will find success, whether it's solo queue or team rank games. He is just a well-rounded hero, maybe like borderline OP. Now, I'm not gonna talk about item builds yet, emblems as such, because you can probably get away with building anything on him, like how you build your other mages. But I'm pretty sure cooldown reduction is gonna be a necessity since you want to be able to cast your skill 2 a lot for mobility and damage, and you also want your cooldown on your ultimate to be short, so you can use it many times during one game. Calamity Reaper is also a good choice since Harith is a spammer, a skill spammer. This will allow you to abuse the true damage passive coming from the item every time you do a basic attack after you use a skill. And Concentrated Energy is a no-brainer since you want to sustain and keep your HP up, allowing you to continuously barrage your enemies with your low cooldown skills. And before we end this video, here are the summary of the pros and cons that I have noticed. Feel free to add your pros and cons with Harith, by the way, once you've tried him out in the comment section below. But what I found out is 1, he's mobile. He's such a mobile hero. 2, he can deal very high damage. He has survivability with his dash, his shield, his crowd control or stun duration reduction. He's pretty decent in minion wave clear early game. Maybe not as fast as Vixana, but he's not slow in clearing waves. And he has a built-in slow effect on his skill 2 and a movement stopping root effect on skill 3. So he's not lacking in any CC or disables. Some of the bad things I found about him, they're not really that bad, but to be able to use him properly, you need a bit of aiming. You really gotta practice, especially landing your skill 1 properly, so that you can get the maximum output damage. And if you get zoned out of your ult range when you use your ultimate, or maybe if the enemies get away from you after you ult, you won't be able to take advantage of the cooldown resets for skill 2. So that goes back to aiming. You have to make sure you hit enemies with your skill 3 or your ultimate to stop them in place so that you can reset and do damage to them while they're in the area. But that is about it for this Harith hero review. I rate this hero meow out of 10. And I hope this video helped you out in deciding if you want to take this cat boy home or leave him on the sidewalk. How could you? My name is Ctto, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.